Hello and welcome to Sepang. We're here in Malaysia for the final round of the M.I.R World Championship in MotoGP 24. We did say to you in Motegi that the championship would come down to this between Jake and Charlie, but unfortunately, due to my extreme miscalculation, I was completely wrong. Charlie won the championship in Motegi, yet he was not congratulated by anyone, nor did he congratulate himself. He didn't realise himself he was the champion. He made the standings and didn't realise himself that he was the champion.
He thought he needed 6-7 points.
Yeah, literally. That's not a joke. But this man is now the official runner-up. So Charlie is the world champion. Whoa! Congratulations, Charlie. Charlie
Well done,
is
Charlie.
the M.I.R
Well deserved.
world champion. A brilliant season of control of disconnections. As here comes Jake across the line. This could effectively be your Sepang test. Let's hope we can get a few wildcard winners in this one for the final round. As next season we plan to move to Ride 5. It's unknown what class we're using, but it seems to me like we are going to be going to Ride 5 for a championship, and that'll be a lot of fun because the track's very different tracks. Well, last weekend we also had the Northwest 200 in Ride 4, the partner of M.I.R, the T-Tech Tourist Trophy Esports Championship. And the Northwest 200, and of course if you want to watch that you can watch it back here live. But anyway, as we're nearly 2 minutes into the stream, I am your commentator RaceBoy95, joined by my co-commentator Woody aka Prapat TTS, and we'll be taking you through this final round in M.I.R. It's been a good season and we've talked enough about Jake and Charlie, so apart from our top two, who do you think has impressed you the most this season? Be it, they've improved from last season or they've just come out the box and done really well?
Definitely for Emil and Max from Norway. They've both been such brilliant from what we saw at the start of the season. They really have shown such brilliant talent on this game. And it's good to see that Emil, of course, won the sprint race last time out very crazily. And just that alone, I would say Emil is the biggest surprise for me so far this season.
Yeah, 100%. I'd have to agree on that. But you can't doubt, in fact, though, Max from Norway, his consistency has been immaculate. He had a difficult round last time at Motegi, but apart from that, he has been in the top 5 in nearly every single race we've held, which nobody else can say, not even Charlie or Jake. As Ale GT heads to the top, he returns to the grid after a small hiatus. The Italian on the Honda with a 154.1. And Perky. And another question for you. If we do go to Ride 5 for next season, what class, or let's say, what bikes would you like to see, become the regulations for the M.I.R World Championship?
Personally, I think Supermoto would be really fun. I think Supermoto would be just absolute carnage. Anyone's chance it'd be like a Moto3 race, but even more compact, even more unpredictable. So Supermoto would be very good, I think. Oh, scooters, yeah, scooters would be great. Scooters would be so good.
Potato, get on it. He's running his Moto3 Spud Cup. Maybe we could have the scooter Spud Cup. So, yeah, maybe throw some ideas down below. What in the live chat or the comments if you're watching this after the live stream, whichever you want. What do you think would be the best for us to head in the right direction for Ride 5? Do you think we should go on Superbikes, do a bit of a British Superbikes Championship, but incorporate different circuits to replace that of Thruxton and Knockhill?
50cc mini moto.
We don't have 50. You don't have mini motos in Ride 5.
Oh, boo! That's why GP bikes is better.
No, Nigel Farage is playing skate.
What?
Oh no! Charlie has been disconnected from the lobby.
The champion is retired already.
What? Okay, he's just had enough of it now. He knows he's won the championship. and we're into this session. Jake has hit the top when we've been watching Perky for so long with a 154.1. And let's see, Famil. Oh, Famil's on a good lap. Go on the Aprilia, number 99. What happened to Charlie? He's, PC is crapping itself. I'm going to restart it, then we could restart after quali, please, and I'll start from the back. Okay, Charlie, the reigning champion, will start from the back of the grid. So, well done. Jake does the double brilliant racing. But here is Famil on a good lap. And to be fair though, at Sepang, the run down to turn 1 is something that can get anyone involved. I mean, we saw it. I mean, I remember racing at Sepang, here at Sepang in MotoGP 23 in League 2 a while ago, not in M.I.R, in a different championship. And Casper, I remember he got a brilliant start, went to lead, and I was in second, and then I got taken out by Samu. I haven't seen Samu in a while since his Moto 3 days in World Racing League. Famil goes to the top with a 154.1. Yeah, Samu went into the back of me, and then I in turn went into Caspar, and I crashed again on that one. I was furious, and then I came back to third. But yeah, Sepang, it's a really interesting track to say the least. It's a love-hate relationship for me. It's an enjoyable track, but it depends on the category. What about you?
I think Sepang is a very good circuit. I think that with the length of it, I feel like there's areas on the track where you can be really good at, areas of the track that you can't really, it's easy to struggle. However, personally, I would say it's up there. It's up there, one of my favourites. I have spent quite a lot of time in GP bikes, in practice, just going around this track. I do think it's very, very fun. All different styles of corners.
Yeah, as Jake goes to the top with a 53.3, and I'll tell you what, a noticeable moment here at Sepang. Obviously, that one clip that you can find on my TikTok, which I posted a long time ago, of your very own commentator at Live GP trying to pressure me on the last lap and sending up the inside on the curbs and completely binning it. A iconic clip which I'm sure will go down in history as Perky now comes to line, 2.7 off, and I think he just ran out of fuel as he hit the line there. So he'll be going again now. Guns 2.1 off of Jake. The two Aprilias, Bernie's doing alright in third, but you can just see how big the gap is to Jake. So it's going to be a difficult one to beat him here unless he crashes. Ooh, that's an easy one to do there. Guns on the outside curb over the green. What a shame for the Frenchman. But here is Max from Norway, man, third in the championship. We're going to take a quick peek at the standings.
It's very close for third. If Famil wins, well, not wins, beats the other two ahead of him, Ducksworth and Max from Norway, he can easily take that third spot in the championship.
Yeah, it's quite a tight duel, and Guns could do it as well if he has a really good weekend. It's a shame we're not seeing Azzy out there tonight. The one and only Osama bin Azzy. As Jake's currently on a really good lap, looking to drop it maybe into the 52s. He is absolutely cleaning out the field, and in a similar form to Ayumu Sasaki after he lost the championship to Jaume Masia. Obviously, didn't win a race all year until that one in Valencia. But yeah, there is the standings up on screen for you, and then we'll move to page 2. Yeah, a few people struggling at the bottom of the standings there, but here is Jake on a sensational lap as always. It's good to see Bernie up there on the front row at the moment. Ducksworth, Max from Norway. It seems Jake really finding his feet well here. Just as I say that, the front folds at the last corner. He just heard that one and said, okay, I'm going to prove you wrong. Here he is, LA GT the factory Repsol Honda. Let's go on board with the Italian as he aims to finish his lap. Definitely what I'd say the most difficult track in terms of qualifying, because it's so long and there's so many factors that can easily, like if you get a bit too aggressive on your lap, it can be over right here. And that's exactly what's happened to LAGT. He's asked a bit too much of the brake. Yeah, very wide. But he's managed to get it stopped quite well. Let's see if he's able to get ahead of Perky, or better yet, Ducksworth. Charlie has rejoined to watch along this qualifying session. With 4.5 minutes to go, we're watching the Italian make his way through these iconic sets of corners. And here he comes then onto the back straight. You can hear that V4 Honda sing its way under the DHL bridge. 2.8 then is the gap for the Italian. It looks like, from what we saw, it's been a pretty strong lap for the Italian as he runs it wide again, but he's going to square it off nicely down the straight. But he did run wide at the hairpin. Let's just see what this is. I'm going to guess he's going up to 7th with this one, and he goes up to 4th. A good lap for LAGT, and I'm sure a top 4 on the grid will bring him brilliant confidence heading in to the main race and the sprint, of course. But that is really good to see for LAGT, especially since he ran so wide at the hairpin. If he can get this lap right, he could get on the front row here. How good would that be for him?
Brilliant. Hopefully we can see this. But Bernie, of course, he's a bit of a wild card that we don't normally see at the front, so it's good to see him on the front row at the moment. But it will have to be the battle. Oh, he's gone.
Whoever, he was personal best sector 1. And Perky also doing a decent job in 5th. This is what happens when Charlie's not here. Oh, and just as Guns has moved up into 5th. And Famil and Bernie are both improving. And the two Aprilia riders perhaps working together. I know they are both in good spirits with each other, but no, they're not working together. Famil looks like he's messed up that lap. Let's take a look at Bernie then. Looking to continue the British dominance here in M.I.R. as Jake is fastest in Sector 1 again. Oh, Bernie, lovely. Brilliantly done from the number 86. There's Sharky just moving out of the way for Bernie. Brilliant. This is a good lap so far for Bernie. He was a little bit wide there. He's had a huge moment on the front. And just as I said, he was on a good lap. But here's Ducksworth, somebody who has been really struggling with qualifying pace, but look out for him off the line, especially with Sepang at turn 1. You never know what Ducksworth is capable of. But here is a number 95 going around the last corner. Let's see what this lap is for the Brits. Once again, he is struggling in qualifying, but can he bump himself a little further up? He does move himself into 7th. And now LAGT is on another lap. He's had a really difficult... Oh no, he's giving up again. But this is going to be his last shot. He's had a really difficult season so far and not had the best runner result. We showed a little bit of promise at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, but ever since then has really not delivered. I don't think, actually, to be fair, I don't think he's delivered himself to there in any round since Austria, so I can't really say much about his pace since then. And here he is proving it and coming around the last corner. Jake is about to once again smash in another incredible lap. If he can just get this last corner right. He's sideways all the way up there. He's run it a bit wide, but once again, as I said, you square it off and get the run down the straight because it's a long one, especially if you're on a Yamaha. A 153.2, he improves by a 10th of a second as Famil is a 10th up in Sector 1. Now, what do you think the odds of Jake falling off again are?
I think not so likely, because he has really no pressure. He's not going to be the world champion of M.I.R. He can really just cruise to a finish and just take the best result he can get without worrying about pressure on his shoulders from anyone else. But of course, it's so easy to get caught under pressure when you're leading a race, even if you've already lost the championship, because at the end of the day, it's the next race that counts. It's even if the championship's not gone your way.
Yeah, LAGT has found some time, and he's someone who really needs a good result to boost his confidence heading into next season if he joins us on Ride 5. And here he comes then, out of the hairpin. LAGT is on a good lap here. He could get onto the front row, but Bernie is also on the post. No, he's down! Oh, he's way too out wide. Got a bit too happy on the throttle, right on the outside curbs. An unfortunate mistake for Ali GT, as he's not going to get another lap. And it is going to be a fourth he has to settle for, unless Guns, Ducksworth, Goji or Sharky have anything for him. Let's have a look at Bernie. He's been alright. He's just under a second off of his teammate. He's got a nice wide entry there. Brilliant so far from the Brits on the Aprilia. Oh, an impressive save from the number 86, as he just manages to stay on the bike. But his lap is gone. But can his front row seat still be threatened by Guns, the Frenchman on the VR46 Ducati? Found to be another really consistent runner. But the VR46 Ducati team, like even in real life, they just seem to be like the team of consistency. Like if one of them's not there in fifth, the other one is. And we've seen that with Di Gianantonio or Morbidelli, and now we're seeing it with Guns and Max from Norway. As Ducksworth also on a lap. I don't know if he's in front or behind. Yeah, Ducksworth moves up to fourth. A good lap there, a good recovery from Ducksworth to get himself onto the front of the second row. But can Guns get himself onto the front row and make it three manufacturers lining up the front three positions? Here he comes, the Frenchman to the line, looking to join his fellow Frenchman. He makes it. A good lap there from Guns to get into third. And now for me,
we knew it was going to happen.
Oh, he didn't get to finish his lap. Why not? Well, I think it was invalid. But yeah, there it is. Jake takes pole position. Too much of a surprise ahead of the two Frenchmen on the front row, ahead of Bernie, Ducksworth. What a shame that Ali GT getting dropped to 6th after a really impressive session at the start. Max from Norway 7th, a little bit of drop of pace there for Max, so hopefully he can find something in the race. Perky, Goji, then Sharky, and world champion Charlie will line up at the back of the grid. Now I will reiterate, this is like a practice start. This race start is not official. And if you're wondering why the thumbnail hasn't changed, it was a very last minute thing. I completely forgot that I was commentating. So the thumbnail will be changed after the race when I have prepared the thumbnail. But of course, another mention tomorrow. The first round of the MotoGP Esports Championship will commence. Good luck. Oh, we've lost Famil. Oh, it's alright, we're restarting. Good luck to all the riders in MotoGP Esports, specifically Giulito and Jack Hammer. A big good luck to them, as we've seen them in World Racing League and also in many other leagues, I think. Yeah. Raced with both of them. They're incredibly fast, and I hope I never race them again unless I'm faster than them in that case. But yeah, good luck to all. So yeah, there we go. And just while we're waiting for this, let's talk a bit about MotoGP eSport. Obviously, Jack Hammer moving along to Grassini, Christian MM17, the brother of Adrian, two-time champion of 2020 and 2022, to take his place at KTM. And obviously taking the vacant Yamaha seat from Trast is Giulito, somebody that we both have commentated a lot on in World Racing League, and started to really pick up some form in MotoGP 25, and now it's finally been recognised, and now he is officially a factory Yamaha rider. So the best of luck to Giulito, and of course Davy Galinia as well, another one who we have commentated on, who is now racing. I'm not quite sure who he's riding for. I think Tech 3 KTM. I'll have to research that. But yes, a lot of support for Giulito. Manuel Gonzalez commenting on his post in support. So nice to see the Moto2 Championship leader getting involved in MotoGP eSport community. Hopefully he's watching this now. And let's get an invite to Charlie and Famil.
5 laps. You need to change it.
Yeah, it's reset. Oh no, it's a sprint race. It stays like that. It's 5 laps because it's at Sepang.
Oh, okay.
Where's Famil? Oh, here is Famil. Why can't I order the grid? I don't need time to
Because
qualify.
qualifying's on.
Yeah.
That would not have been a good moment.
Yeah, heading into qualifying. Classic race boy moment. Thank you, Caspar. Caspar has given me the esport lineup. So we've got reigning champion Jack Hammer on the Gresini Ducati. An interesting move, to say the least. Because he looked so comfortable with KTM, but I'm sure, well, to be fair, Gresini seemed like the team to be at when you're in MotoGP sport. As I saw what Dippo Akbar was being treated to last year, he was invited into the box in quite a few races. So I'm sure Jack Hammer is trying to claim on some of that treatment, which would be nice to see him in the box at maybe the British Grand Prix. Was it in Silverstone next year? If he is still with Gresini by then. And yeah, Christian MM17 took his seat at KTM. Giulito lines up on the Yamaha. Yes, as I was correct. Davi Galigna lines up on the Tech 3 KTM. That's really good to see. He struggled a bit towards the later stages of MotoGP 24 after winning the after winning the league major championship. Once Adrianke and a few other riders came in, he really started to struggle on that Aprilia, but now he's moved to KTM and he's really finding his feet on MotoGP 25, so it's good to see him with some pace. Anything for Davi Galigna from you?
I thought it was a decently strong rider. As you said, close to the end of MotoGP 24, he did really quite struggle in World Racing League, but still he's a very class rider. I do think he will perform decently in esports, but I do think Jack Hammer will still be the favourite, even though he's on Gresini.
Yeah, Piero Ricciuti, the wild child, as he's known, returning to LCR Honda. And Dippo Akbar making the switch to VR46 Ducati. He had a bit of a struggle in qualifying, and Exa Rock, somebody that I've raced, in fact, in Moto 2, lining up once again, re-signing with Trackhouse. So that's good to see the American team putting faith in the Thai rider, and once again, Adrian lining up with Honda HRC Castrol, and he has, been in many races that we have seen. And Christian making the switch to KTM, that's quite interesting. He seemed quite at home with Honda, but LCR seemed quite excited to re-sign Piero Ricciuti. So the Spaniard heads to the vacant seat of the championship winning motorcycle. And then you've got Flavio Baldacci, the Italian, for Pramac Yamaha. Obviously rode the Pramac Ducati last year. He had a okay season. Nothing. A decent rookie season, to put it simply. And it'll be nice to see what he can do. Obviously, somebody I've raced in GP bikes, Ride 5, Ride 4, GP 23, 24, 25, 22, everything. A super talented rider, and definitely a future champion. And then you've got Davide Teresi re-signing with Aprilia, and Daniele Eloy also re-signing with Ducati. So it'll be good to see them battling for the championship. But yes, as we said, good luck to all esports riders, of course. And as I need to get this grid sorted, it was Famil from Guns. Bernie, was it Ducksworth fourth? Oh, no, Bernie was fourth, then Ducksworth, then LAGT, Max, Perky, Goji, Sharky. So yeah, and if you want to catch that, make sure you watch the MotoGP Esport opening round. Sorry, Charlie. I'm just going to double check qualifying. Okay, yeah, correct. I'm just going to check Discord real quick because Charlie. Yeah, okay, yeah. That's all good. Grid is all appropriately set. Bernie at Ducksworth. Alright then, it is time for the sprint race. Let me just make sure the distance is correct. It is. Charlie lines up from the back of the grid. And who's your favourite for this one? Keep bearing in mind, things can get ugly in turn 1.
My favourite is Charlie. I'm going to go with the champion. From the back of the grid, of course, but still, it's Charlie, so...
Yeah, we have seen many from zero to hero performances here at Sepang in the past. As we just wait for the riders to ready up. Somebody to keep an eye on, I'd say, off the line will for sure be Ducksworth. And he's usually been qualifying 5th, 6th, 7th, you know, maybe around 6 or 7. And he usually gets off the line really well. So, yeah, look out for a charging Ducati up the inside at turn 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a shame. Unfortunately, we're missing out on Potato this week, but we've got the American of Sharky on the LCR Honda, and he's been having a really difficult season. It's been a real shame. He showed a little bit of light in Austria, but he's to be fair, his attendance rate is immaculate, and I think just because of that, he is quite far up in the standings. As I'll double check, he is. I only sent you the first page. Take a look in M.I.R. He is where is he? He's not on. Is he in? He's there. Oh, he's in 13th with 31 points, tied with Swooze. So, and he's ahead of Sacred Meerkat. You know, there you go, Sharky. If you're watching this back, you can say you beat Sacred Meerkat in the championship. All right, then everybody's ready to go for the sprint race. Now, throw it down in the comments. Who do you think will be leading out of turn 1? What about you?
Here we go.
Who will be leading out of turn 2? Let's
Max from Norway. Max from Norway is going to be leading.
7th on the grid. It's a brave choice, but definitely not out of the question. Look out for the 2 Aprilias for Emil and Bernie. Here we go for the final sprint race of the M.I.R. season. Here we go. Jake lines up on pole for the last time. Here we go. It's a good start from Jake, but a good one as well from Guns, who's going to get a brilliant run down to turn 1. Not the best start for LAGT, but Jake goes defensive. Brilliant defence. I think he's ran it wide there at turn 1. He has. Here comes Famil looking for the inside, but Jake's going to have it back. Here he comes back through. Oh, that got close. A bit rough there from Jake, but perfectly fair. And as I said, Ducksworth is charged up to 3rd. A brilliant start from the number 95 on the Ducati. Is now head up to turn 4. Famil all over the back of Jake and Charlie. No track time in the lobby, so a good start for him to move up to 5th ahead of his teammate. Let's see if Ducksworth is going to fight back. Let's just get a look at our new champion. For the first time we're seeing him on track, and Charlie is absolutely rolling through. He's got the number 1 plate there and the gold showy helmet, and he is already making moves, and here he comes for the inside on Bernie. What a brilliant first lap this is from Charlie. Remember, he had no qualifying at all. This is, oh wow, a big movement on the curb there for Guns. This rear wheel goes up in the air. Thought Charlie was going to go for them both there. He has!
Oh,
wow, Bernie has sat up on the inside of Guns, and now look at the absolute drama going on in the middle of the pack. Let's see what Charlie has got. He is on some incredible pace, and before the end of the first lap, he's gone from 11th to 3rd. This is a champion's ride, and he's not giving it up just yet. Oh my gosh, look at the drama we're having at the back of the field as Jake is starting to pull away already. Charlie has got some work to do to catch Jake and Famil. Oh no, crash in the middle of the back there for LAGT.
Oh, LAGT.
The Honda goes down. A shame as we stick with Charlie heading into last corner. Ducksworth, a strong start for him as well in 4th, trying to hold off from Max from Norway. And you can just see Bernie maybe looking at a move on Guns, maybe a bit too far off. Oh no, sorry, not Guns. Max from Norway as he nearly goes into the back of the Norwegian.
Guns will take the advantage.
Yeah, Guns goes through.
Place.
And here comes Bernie back in the slipstream. Let's go on board with the Brit as he looks to pass the Frenchman. Oh, somebody's wide at the top there. That's Ducksworth. I knew it was one of the Ducatis. And now Max from Norway is all over the back of him, looking to get another 4th place and solidify his 3rd in the championship. Well, no, it's not solidify. The battle for 3rd is actually really intense here between Vermeil and Max from Norway. Somebody else in the fight there. I can't remember who. I think Ducksworth. Oh! Whoa! My word! A huge crash. His bike has gone through the floor. A huge accident as both the Aprilia riders go down. We were on board with Bernie there as his bike went flying and Vermeil and Guns have collided. Oh, there's some severe lag. There is some severe lag. Let's red flag that. Yeah, we just had some severe lag. A load of riders going absolutely flying, so we're going to restart that. Sorry, Charlie. Oh, it puts them back to... Oh, that's a shame. I didn't realise it put them back to grid slots because it's not... Yeah, we were only a lap and a half in, weren't we? That's a shame for Charlie, but we are going to go again. That was an absolutely enormous accident as both the Aprilia riders hit the deck. Here we go then, running it back again. Let's just hope that doesn't repeat because I'm pretty sure we had a lot of lag there. A lot of big crashes. Yeah, let's see if Charlie can get another good start. He's got that work all to do again. Keep your eyes on the world champion at the back of the grid. The bright red #1 Ducati. Soon to be Marc Marquez as well. Here comes Jake. The lights go out and he goes defensive. He pulls along to the right side of the circuit. But here comes Guns up the inside. Look at the VR46 Ducati going for it on the inside. Jake's completely wide. He's been shuffled to the back of the field. What a start for Ducksworth. Ducksworth away brilliantly. LAGT also in the mix. Charlie up to 3rd with an even better start than last time. And now Vermeil's up the inside. He squeezes through. Ducksworth looking to come back. Jake, how has he ended up in 7th? Here comes Ducksworth back for him. LAGT on the outside. Vermeil back through on the inside. Where do you look? Here. What a start. Ducksworth! Oh, he's completely swiped him up the inside. How have they stayed on the bike? This reminds me of Martin and M.I.R, and Charlie is already looking to get involved. Only 2 sectors in. Could he lead the race already? Max from Norway's up to 2nd. This is basically the battle for 3rd in championship between Vermeil and Ducksworth. This Vermeil tries to down to him. Jake's down. Oh, there's drama everywhere. Here comes Charlie alongside. We're in for a good show in the last sprint race of the year. Thank God we restarted as Charlie swoops around the outside. What a move. What a sensational overtake from the world champion. As Vermeil back up the inside. Oh, that's what a battle. What a battle we've got going here. This is genuinely incredible. Vermeil swipes around the outside. Oh! Ducksworth is down. No! Oh, he was on a brilliant run there. And unfortunately he goes down in the battle. What an incredible start to this race as Vermeil leads the way from Charlie, Max and Guns. What can the VR46 Ducatis do about the world champion? Jake will be kicking himself from that one. Oh, I don't believe this as Vermeil runs it super wide. Charlie does as well. The tightest one there was Max. This could go down to the wire here as Vermeil is in prime position to take 3rd of the championship away from Max from Norway. Now you can just see the Norwegian trying to get involved and prevent the Frenchman from doing that as they head down at someone. Guns goes for a brave dive around the outside. That didn't work at all. Max goes back through and now Charlie is right on the back of Vermeil. He nearly goes into the back of the Frenchman's Aprilia. And look at the 2 VR46 Bertamini Enduro Ducatis duking it out for 3rd place. Here comes Guns with a brilliant run. He's looking to come up the inside here into turn 4. Oh, he's going to make the move. He's wide. He's wide. He's got that way too wide. And now could we see him back on the inside? The 2 teammates going head to head. 3, sorry. Bernie there in 5th. LAGT doing a good job in 6th. Just hanging in there with the group. But look how close Charlie and Vermeil is. Charlie wants to go out with a bang in MotoGP 24. The MotoGP minor champion. And now the M.I.R world champion here in MotoGP 24, both on the Ducati. Here comes Charlie. Surely he's not going to go for it from this far back. No, he's not. Vermeil is doing really well at holding back the world champion. He's a really good defender. Look how he just places it in front of Charlie every time and has to force him sit up on the inside. It's so impressive as we're going to go on
Battle.
board with Charlie. Surely he's going to get the run as Ducksworth goes down again. Let's see if Charlie can get the run. He's going to send it. He's going to send it into the ultimate corner. Here he comes up the inside. A sensational overtake. But they're going to be side by side heading down to the last corner. We've got a battle on in the sprint race. Here comes Famil side by side with the world champion who went from last to second in only 2 sectors in lap 1. Famil's on the inside and he sits up the world champion.
Brilliant.
What a move from the Frenchman as he retakes the lead. GT's gone down as we were just singing his praise. Unfortunate for the Italian, better luck in the main race. But we're focusing on this battle at the front as here comes world champion. Charlie's back up the inside. Oh, he goes to pay the block pass back. He's out wide. Famil gets the switch back. And we're going to see a switch back again from Charlie. No, we're not, because Famil's out wide. He pulls it back again and gets brilliant defensive line. We were just saying how good he is at defending, and he's showing it to us here. Charlie's got the run though. Back up the hill, up to turn 4. Look at the 2 VR460 Ducati riders battling again. Charlie goes for it. He's ran that wide. Famil's back through. What a race we are having here to end M.I.R. here in the sprint race. It's incredible as Famil continues to lead, looking to add another sprint win to his tally. Charlie all over the back of the Aprilia RS GP24. His Desmos Adichie singing his way through the 3rd set. Oh, Famil's on the grass. Oh, and somehow he's still on a bike and he's on the outside curb. Charlie thought about squeezing up the inside. That was close, and I've got a stitch honestly from shouting so much. Famil into the hairpin continues to lead. Brilliant defense so far from the Frenchman. A generational performance as Jake has now moved his way back up into 5th. We continue to watch the battle for the lead as a closer battle below. Perky and GT not too far behind, but here comes Charlie's all over the back. He's going to get a brilliant run, and but once again Famil, he gets a brilliant run out of those corners, but now it's about the slipstream. Charlie goes for the wider line. Perky's unfortunately gone down battling GT. Here comes the Ducati. Let's go on board with him as he chases down that RSGP. He's got a good run in the slipstream. Could he send a dive into the last corner? No, he thinks better of it, and he's ran it super wide, but he's going to get a brilliant run for it, and possibly that could offer him a move down into turn 1. It's the Brit versus the Frenchman with 2 laps to go here in the sprint race. Here comes Charlie, as I predicted, up the inside. He barges Famil out the way, but Famil stays strong on the outside. Again, absolutely spotless defense from the Aprilia rider. This is such a good show to end the season here at Sepang. A lot of lag there, don't ruin it for us now. Charlie tries to squeeze on the inside. Thankfully the lag didn't ruin the battle at the front. I think it lost Guns a little bit of time, but here comes Charlie up the inside. He's going to try and force him out wide, but he's ran it wide again. No, he hasn't. Finally he's made a move stick, but Famil's already back for him. He knows he has to keep passing him, and he's back up the inside with immediate effect, but Charlie's still got the inside line, and he's going to run it wide again. Famil's back for him. Incredible racing here at Sepang. What an incredible sprint race. This is a show and a half here between Charlie and Famil. A battle for the ages. This is one of the best battles I've ever commentated on. Echoes back to Javier Demin versus Modesto as Famil runs it out wide. He's got a brilliant way to mess up that corner, and unfortunately that's the first time he has made a mistake. He's lost the run out of the corner, and now Charlie is back in the slipstream for the back straight. Charlie taking liberties. Taking liberties on the track limits warnings there as Famil's on the outside curbs. Careful, but he's going to get a fantastic exit for it. He lets Charlie through as he guns wide, but look at the exit speed he got from it. They're side by side again. Famil is going to go for the outside. Charlie's on the inside. Here they go. Mass contact. How are they both still on the bike? How are they both still on the bike? Famil gets the exit. What a battle.
Max from Norway is going to win. Max from Norway. Max from Norway is going to win.
Jake is now up into 4th. Jake is up into 4th. He can still win this one if something happens. It's Charlie versus Famil with 1 lap to go. Who is going to get this one? Charlie was a little bit wide there in turn 1, offering him a better run into turn 2. It's all about who has the better pace at the end of this race. What an absolutely sensational sprint race, regardless of who wins this. Oh, incredible. Now Jake is hunting down Max from Norway to take away his third in this sprint race. Vermeil doing everything he can to hold off the reigning world champion. This is the ride of Vermeil's MIR career, if he is able to pull this one off. But the ride of Charlie's career by far, no matter whether he finishes second or first, to come from the back of the grid up into second before the end of lap 1. But it looks to me like Vermeil has just got a little bit more pace at the end of this one than Charlie.
Oh.
Charlie's on the outside curve. That's going to ruin his run there. But Vermeil is close to a long lap penalty. Yes, that is correct. We're seeing echoes of Bezzecchi versus Marquez at Misano. This is the battle we wish we had, as Charlie runs it super deep in the hairpin. It might be done now, as the gap is up to 0.6 of a second. He got way too brave on the brakes. He should have waited for the run into the final corner, and now he has to pray on a mistake, as Max from Norway goes down on the last lap out of third. Charlie's doing everything he can to put the pressure on the Frenchman, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough unless there's a mistake from the Aprilia rider down the back straight. We haven't watched anyone else for this sprint race. It's going to have to be huge mess up for Vermeil to lose this one now as he comes to the last corner. What a sensational sprint race as he's ran it out wide, but it's definitely not going to be enough to lose this race. Vermeil wins in fine fashion the ride of his career in MIR. What a sensational battle. He conquers the sprint race here in MIR. Charlie comes home with a brilliant second, the ride of his career, as I said. And Jake as well, a brilliant ride as well. Fantastic comeback to make third. Guns fourth, Bernie fifth, Max a disappointing sixth, which will lose him third place in the championship heading into the main race, but he can still fight back. That is the greatest race I've ever commentated on.
That was a brilliant sprint race. Gutted for Charlie. We really wish to see a bit more of a intense last lap, but of course that race did not
got it all served up to us in the first half. Oh my word, that penultimate lap was sensational. But Vermeil wins his second sprint race in a row. Let's see if he can back it up with the double and finally take his first main race win in the final race. The Frenchman, what an incredible ride. He couldn't have done that any better, in my opinion. He put the pressure on and he kept the pressure off. Just absolutely perfect. Charlie, a brilliant ride up to second from 11th on the grid after not even competing in qualifying. Jake third of the fastest lap of a 53.6, a good comeback for him as well. Guns fourth, a consistent ride to hang in with the group. Bernie fifth, Max from Norway sixth, and he'll be coming back to battle for the third place in the championship, which I don't think will be going his way after Vermeil put on a show like that. LAGT 7th, Ducksworth a really disappointing 8th after he got a brilliant start and fought with Vermeil off the line. Sharky 9th, Goji 10th, and Perky a disappointing 11th after previously battling for 6th place. But that was your main race, and what a show. I mean, that is genuinely one of the greatest battles I've ever seen. That is the greatest battle I've ever commentated on.
That was a brilliant race.
And fair enough to Charlie and Vermeil, keeping it relatively clean, apart from that one moment going into lap 3, I think it was. But yeah, as he is, got to be loving that. What an absolute barnstormer of a race. And now it is time for the main race. Let's hope we can get treated to somehow a better show than that, as we now move Jake up to the top of the grid. Just how perfect of a ride was that from Vermeil, and how do you keep the pressure back like that when you've got the world champion on your behind?
That was one of the best performances I've seen in this championship from Vermeil, of course. Like, Vermeil, he's a rider you would not expect to battle that hard. It really was showing shades of Laguna Seca with Valentino Rossi and Casey Stoner, where Valentino Rossi was put under so much pressure by Casey Stoner and still managed to take the win at the end. Unbelievable ride from Vermeil. I really cannot believe he's ended up taking the sprint win there. So well done to him. Yeah,
and we can't sugarcoat it enough if you don't really know motorbike racing, just how incredible of a job that was. And if you don't know MotoGP 24, just how hard the game is when it comes to a battle like that at the end of a race. And just let you do the talking for a little bit, talking about what we've got for the main race, just because I need to focus on ordering this grid.
So hopefully we can see a repeat with more riders in the main race. I would love to see Jake getting involved. I would love to see Max from Norway getting involved because, of course, they were all pretty packed together at the beginning of the restart. So if we can hopefully see a 4 or more rider battle, I would just love to see it. This Sepang is definitely a track for battling, as we have just been shown. And hopefully we can see another bit of a shake-up with Justin Vermeil take the sprint win. Will another rider like Max from Norway, Guns, Ducksworth, will they take a victory in the main race? We're about to find out. Hopefully it's a good one, and I'm sure it's going to be a good one. Here we go then, loading into the race.
Yeah, and I think Jake lost that all at the start there. I mean, he had, what, 6 or 7 riders up the inside at turn 1, and that's not even a joke.
Exactly.
It was about that number.
Almost at like 41. All right, here we go.
That's definitely going up on the Riley Davis Motorsport Media socials. If you don't follow me already, follow me on X, Instagram, TikTok and YouTube. Help me achieve my dream of becoming a professional commentator, because it means the world to me, this sport. And there's nothing I'd rather do more than get paid to yap for ages about 2 wheels. But anyway, enough about me and more about the absolute soldiers on this grid who are hopefully going to serve us another brilliant race to warm you up and get you up to speed with how online racing works on 2 wheels if you're going to catch the MotoGP eSport tomorrow. And if you own MotoGP 24 on PC, if you own Ride 5 on PC, which is what we're going to be doing next season, sign up, joining the Discord, because you can get yourself a place on the M.I.R grid alongside greats like Jake, Charlie, and all the people that have performed so well this season. Alright then, we're just waiting on everybody to get ready to go for the final race of the season. What do we think, Woody? If you can really bet on it, who's going to do it? Who's going to win this absolutely unpredictable race?
If I was going to put my life savings on it, I would have to say the safe option. However, I'm feeling a bit. I'm gonna say it's out of the blue, Ducksworth to win the main race.
A brave choice, but one that can definitely come to fruition if the Brit can just stay in the pack and not make that costly mistake that threw away his chance of being in a battle with his teammate and Vermeil, as they're all ready to go. Everybody is ready to roll for the final race here at Sepang in M.I.R. We had a brilliant show in the sprint. Let's hope we can cook up another masterpiece here in the final race. It's been a joy to commentate on M.I.R. here in MotoGP 24 all this season alongside you, Woody. It has been a joy. Thank you everyone for watching.
It has been brilliant.
But it is not over yet. One more race to go. There's a light go out now as Jake gets away well, but Vermeil won better. Here comes the Aprilia trying to get alongside the Yamaha. No, Jake is... Oh, Vermeil darting to the inside already into turn 1. Look out for LAGT! An absolute missile up the inside.
Impact.
A missile. And down goes Perky. And LAGT, and Jake has already made his way back up to 5th. What an absolute terrorist attack from LAGT as he sent it on the pole man. But Vermeil leads again from Guns, from Charlie, who once again started back of the grid. And this time, Charlie's gone one better than the sprint. Instead of going from last to second in only 2 sectors, he's done it in 1. And Jake is now back up to 3rd after that crazy start. Ducksworth into 4th. I'm definitely going to have to hand... Oh, no, he's already got a long lap penalty for that one. I was going to say I can give LAGT
as well.
Yeah, I don't know what for. He must have jump
start maybe.
Yeah, no, I think he's just ran out wide there in the back. You've sort of ruined it. Oh, a huge accident for Guns as the bike goes flying. Jake's already back up to 2nd. It's a strong comeback as him and Charlie finally get to duel in the duel they deserve for the championship. We didn't even need a championship battle to make this one interesting. As here comes Charlie trying to get the run on Jake. He's the one experienced with battling at the front, whereas Jake's experienced with setting that pace. Oh, that was aggressive.
Contact.
Charlie riding into the back of Jake. Somehow the Yamaha YZR-M1 still on circuit as Ducksworth goes back on the inside of Bernie the Brit, trying to get back through on his compatriot. And now they work on trying to catch Vermeil. We could have a brilliant three-way fight for this one between Jake, Charlie and Vermeil. But you have to guess that Jake has the most pace of them all as he runs it wide in the last corner. Charlie trying to go up the inside. The M1 gets a better exit for it. But you're going to see that Ducati up the inside. Perhaps in turn one, I think it's a bit too big of a gap for the world champion to go up the inside here. Unless he gets brave. But Vermeil trying to do the double. The Frenchman was a little bit wide there. But now he knows how to win. It's almost a shame we're not returning to MotoGP 24 next season, because, you know, I wouldn't mind putting Vermeil down as a serious championship contender. It's a shame he didn't come along earlier as Max from Norway. It's been a difficult start to the race for the VR46 Ducati men, down in 9th and 10th. But I tell you what, Goji's doing a good job in 6th. Sharky as well in 7th. The top 7 would be a really good way to end his season after a really, really hard one for the LCR Honda rider. But here comes Jake. He is piling the pressure on the Aprilia rider. He is very angry about what happened to him in the sprint, and probably very angry about what happened to him at the lap 1. But he's already on the back of Vermeil in 2nd. What can he do about the man who won the sprint race? Can we get served up another big battle as Vermeil on the curbs? It's ruined his run down to the hairpin. This is definitely his weak point as he kept running wide here, and Charlie just seemed to have the measure on him on the brakes. But he's got a good exit. His defence, once again, is so good. He leaves no opportunities. But an opportunity for Jake to shove one up the inside. A sensational move from the pole sitter as he makes his way through on Vermeil. And could that already be the race run from Jake? A Brad Ray style performer. But we know that he can bin it in the last lap as Charlie trying to get revenge for the battle between him and the Frenchman as he now charges his way through. Vermeil in only 3 corners has gone from 1st to 3rd. Could we see a charge back up the inside from Vermeil? He nearly goes into the back of Charlie there, but Charlie wants to motor on and see if he can capture Jake. But, oh, Jake was wide there. And now I think we might just have a battle on if Jake doesn't pull away. He's just set the fastest lap of the race. Down into turn 1 we go. And Jake out wide again a little bit there, but nonetheless still keeping that lead and keeping a solid gap. What can Charlie and Vermeil do? If you're in Vermeil's spot right now, you know you've relatively got the pace to stick with Charlie and Jake, but you know you've probably got the upper hand in terms of overtakes. Do you wait for it, or do you go all out now and start rustling feathers?
All out straight away. He cannot waste time. If these two get away, that's his race over for the chance at the victory. He needs to do what he was doing in that sprint race. 100% effort all the time. Get up the inside of these two. Make sure you're defending like he was in the sprint for as long as he can. Maybe hold it on to that last lap. Hope for a mistake. Oh,
Charlie's gone wide and
Vermeil
followed him in. Yeah. Oh, that's big. That's a huge reward there for Jake. I'm sorry to interrupt you, just keep going. That was a good explanation there.
Well, now the strategy now for Vermeil has got to completely change. He's got to get... I would stay on the back of Charlie, maybe pull him up to Jake, because Jake has no one behind him, no one in front of him, so if he just loses out a mistake in his rhythm, it's easy for these two to catch up. So if I was Vermeil, I'd hang on the back of Charlie, wait for Charlie to catch up to Jake, and then pounce.
It's almost like that lag was a godsend in the sprint, because the restart did wonders for the show. And Ducksworth doing a strong job, to be fair, hanging in 4th at the moment. With that long lap penalty to his name. He might appeal it soon, but oh, Bernie was out wide there. But here is Jake, 1 second in the lead of Charlie at the moment. It just looks like Charlie's starting to drop Vermeil. Yeah, Ducksworth hasn't done his long lap, so he's got a 3-second penalty. So in race time, Bernie is up to 4th, and that'll be a good result for him to end the season. But Jake is starting to motor, but we do know his tendency to crash on the last lap. Charlie doing everything he can to stick with his former championship rival. But Jake is so good at this. He's so good at getting his head down and breaking away. Oh, Uh-oh.
Brilliant
Uh-oh.
riding style from Jake.
Yeah, a bit of lag there, and it's actually not lost him any time. But I think Jake is
That was the
severely
lowest I've
lagging.
ever
If
seen
he
any
lags
rider.
anymore, we will have to disqualify the poor man from the lead of the race. If it gets really bad, but I think he's okay for now. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Have I spoke too soon? I can't hear his bike. That's the first symptom of severe lag. So let's
Brilliant
move away
riding
from
style, Jake.
yeah, let's move away from the new head on the other side riding style, and we're going to go on board with Charlie chasing the alien riding style user. Let's see what battles we've got close up. We've got Ducksworth and Bernie battling for fourth. Ducksworth just trying to maybe force Bernie into mistake because he's got that 3-second penalty to his name. I would have taken a long lap if I was Ducksworth. Because to be fair, with a long lap penalty, you can get yourself a really good run onto the back straight. But he is still trying to defend from his compatriot. The number 95, another relatively consistent runner. He's always been there or thereabouts in the top 5 in terms of pace. But sometimes the results not just come for him. As, oh, the rear came round on him there. He's done a good job to stay on that. And now Bernie trying to find a way through. But to be fair, if you're Bernie, would you really go for it and risk Ducksworth battling? Because sometimes we know Ducksworth can be a bit aggressive. And, I mean, he should know that he's got the 3-second penalty. And he goes for it anyway. Ducksworth,
Oh, brilliant move.
yeah, he got that stopped really well as Bernie sits Ducksworth up on the outside. He hanged the bike out for just about long enough to keep him from charging back up the inside. Good defence from Bernie, taking a page out of his teammate's book. Yeah, at this rate, I think Vermeil might just get 3rd place in the championship. And rightfully so. What a brilliant race meeting it has been for him so far. With only 3 laps to go already, that's gone quick. As Max from Norway's gone down out of 7th. It's been a difficult one for Max from Norway once again. It's been a strange second half to the season.
Wouldn't Jake get 3rd in the championship because he's winning?
No, he's 2nd.
Oh, of course, he's... Ignore me, that was the... Ignore me.
Yeah, big cut there from Ducksworth. Oh!
Oh!
He's done a good job to stay on that. Those curbs are really slippery, and especially after you drop off them, a big drop where your bike most likely goes airborne. But yeah, impressive from Ducksworth, but it looks like he's just going to be sitting in 5th here unless Goji has something to say about it. He needs to close 1.7 on Ducksworth to finish in the top 5. Yeah. You see our brain-rotted co-commentator just informing you on the lap count. There.
No, I was being serious. No pun intended.
Okay. Jake's still lagging a bit, but it's not enough to cause any issue. But we'll keep a close eye on that. But if I do disqualify him, I'll get completely accused of rigging it. As I restarted the race and he was in the lead and blamed it on lag. Well, quote unquote blamed it on lag. It was lag. We all saw that crash for Bernie. And now it seems like we've got all the show delivered to us in the sprint, and the main race has just started to simmer down a bit and give us a more calm end to the season. Something my throat definitely appreciates, but you know, my heart doesn't. There's Perky down in 9th at the moment, half a second off Max from Norway, trying to take advantage of the difficulties the Norwegian is having on board that VR 4060 Catty. It's been a relatively alright season for Perky. He's been here and there every now and then, picking up places after, you know, big mistakes. And speaking of picking up places from big mistakes, Max from Norway just running off onto the outside curb there. Perky goes through. Max from Norway ran wide there, and it's starting to look like the Norwegian's losing his confidence. But I will say, it was impressive from Jake, after getting batted out of the way by Ale GT at the start, who was in turn disconnected. Already back up to 1st, I mean, in 3 laps. And that just shows you that he had the mettle to become champion if he did show up to Austria. And now the last lap begins here in M.I.R. It's been a fantastic season. A big battle between Jake and Charlie. And there's always been some drama in the midfield if we're not looking at the race leaders as we are now. But you have to give it to Charlie, not only for organising the league, but just showing up every race and putting it on the podium despite his controller issues. And I think Charlie has delivered the show to us as a world champion should this season. I mean, think back to that outside overtake on Max from Norway at Goddard's at Donington Park. And I'll tell you what though, for me, it looked like he's closing a little bit on Charlie on this last lap. I highly doubt it's going to be enough. But Bernie running on a strong result here. A 4th might be good, but just keep your eye on Jake, because hopefully for his sake he will learn this time. But he did crash out the lead at this point last week in Motegi. But highlight of the season, who would you say it's been? We talked about it a bit in qualifying, but some of the people might have missed it in qualifying. But now, seeing what we've seen in the main race, who is your highlight that's not Jake, Charlie or Famil, I say, outside of the top 3?
I'm going to say Max from Norway.
Yeah, definitely a really strong start to the season. Just started to dip off at the end, and I think this might lose him. 4th in the championship even. But Jake now comes around the last corner to answer back for the bad luck he had in the sprint, and even the bad luck he had at the start of this race. He wins the final race here at Sepang, and just rubs some nice warm bandages around the wound of losing the championship in Motegi. He regains confidence after that last lap crash. But here is your world champion. Oh, another world-class ride from 11th on the grid. Charlie, a double podium for him after not even competing in qualifying. And for Emil, a double podium for him, his best weekend by far. His best race meeting, sorry, by far in M.I.R. And hopefully if he gets Ride 5, that will continue on and we'll see a championship challenge from the Frenchman. But thank you so much for joining us on what has been an eventful, to say the least, season here in M.I.R. Let's run you through the results for one last time. It was Jake with the fastest lap with a 53.3, a blindingly fast lap time from the race winner. Charlie 2nd, Famil 3rd, Bernie with a sensational result for him in 4th, Ducksworth 5th, Goji 6th, another good result for the Pramac Ducati rider, the Swedish rider, just catching on to the end of the top 6 there, and I'm sure he'll be happy about that. Perky, a strong ride in 7th, and 2 VR46 Ducatis ending their season in a way they didn't really want to, and Sharky taking a top 10 at the end there, beating LAG2 who disconnected early on in the race. But from me and Woody, that's it for now. We will update you. I'll update you on my Instagram if you follow the Raceboy95 Instagram when the season will begin again and we hit the track on Ride 5. But that's it from me and Woody. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you,
for
guys.
The M.I.R. season. It has been an absolutely sensational way, and I've seen it said sensational so many times today. Incredible way to end this season. Congratulations to Jake for finishing 1st in the championship. Congratulations to Charlie for winning the championship, of course, and for Emil for making a late charge to 3rd place in the championship after a brilliant performance for 3rd. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll catch